Hey you! Welcome to Rec to Redeemed, where we confront the complex realities of racism and faith. I am your girl Cabana, and today we are going to be talking about COVID-19 related anxieties. Now, I know that this channel is mainly about talking about racism, the Christian faith, doing justice and righteousness, all of that stuff. And I will be giving you that content next video, but starting off, I wanted to make a video addressing what we are going through currently as a country emotionally. Now, before I jump into that, I did want to mention one thing. If you hadn't seen my previous video, I want to let you know that I am currently selling t-shirts on Teespring that promote social distancing. It's a fun, sassy little way to let everybody know around you that you ain't playing no games, so keep your 6 feet distance, okay? Because you know them people in the grocery store, you know, that be reaching over in front of you, like excuse you, okay? So those t-shirts and apparel is for sale right now, and all of the profit will not be going to me. This is not for me to start making money off of this pandemic. It is to be directed towards the WHO's COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. So if it's on your heart and you love the apparel, go ahead, have at it. But if you would rather just give a donation, I will have that link in the description box below, as well as a link to this Teespring account so y'all can check that out, okay? So with that said, let's get into it. So I want to start off with this question. What for you is most at stake? For some, is that you are an essential worker and you're going into work every day, putting your life on the line to provide services for the community, whether you are a public health worker or you're a McDonald's cashier or grocery store employee, and you have anxiety about that. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for giving of yourself to serve us, the public. So thank you. I know that many are experiencing financial lack. Parents are stressed out because kids are at home and they're having to play parent, teacher, cook, and everything else. And it's a very stressful time right now. And even going outside with masks is an issue for some people. I learned that some families don't even want, some black families don't even want for their children to go out with masks on unless they're in a store because they're scared of how people will perceive them. And so there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of anxieties that we're all dealing with. And I don't just want to talk about the anxieties, but I do want to share ways that I've been coping with the anxieties that I've been having. What I've been dealing with personally has been a big part of the reason why I haven't posted in these past, 6-7 months. On the 2nd of January this year, our eldest son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And that was a very scary time in our family. It was a huge shift, a huge adjustment for our family. Now when you skip forward to present day, in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic, diabetics are among the groups that are most vulnerable to this virus. And my husband also has type 1 diabetes. I don't know about you, but your girl's a little clumsy sometimes. Your girl's a little bit absent-minded sometimes. I mess up a lot. I'm awkward. Yeah, I'm a mess. So with all that needs to be done to help to protect yourself from this virus and from spreading it, from bringing it home, what weighs on me is just, what if I mess up? I'm always afraid that I'm going to lose them. I'm afraid that I'm going to lose my husband. I'm scared I'm going to lose my child. I'm scared I'll lose both my children. I'm scared I'll lose my whole family. And especially when we live, unfortunately, also in this time with individuals who don't take this pandemic seriously and who are still protesting for their liberties and their freedoms, which we'll talk about next video, okay? Because so make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so that when I post that video, you'll be notified. What I've had to visualize and draw strength from, and I pray that you draw strength from this as well, is that I think about the disciples when they were in the boat in the midst of that storm, and how all those waves were crashing, and it was just violence all around them, unsurety, chaos. It was unstable, and yet when they looked out on the water and saw Jesus walking, at first they thought it was ghosts, yes, but when they recognized it was Jesus, there was a sense of security. When we look for the Lord in these terrible circumstances, it's like we're holding on for dear life. But what about just resting in His love, in His peace, and in His embrace? I encourage you to try that. I encourage you to just visualize. Like, do a breathing exercise, y'all, for real. I've done this several times during this quarantine, several times during this pandemic, and it has calmed my mind. Imagine Him just being in front of you, and you inhale, and when you exhale, imagine the whole front of your body leaning into His chest, and His arms grasping around you to hug you. I encourage you to do that exercise because it has brought me so much comfort in the midst of all the turbulence. If we can find that, to just rest in His embrace and resting in the fact that He's in control. I pray that that really gives you some peace. And if it does, please let me know in the comment section below, because the truth of the matter is we are not alone. His eyes are upon us. His eyes will never leave you. And He will never leave you begging for bread and having nothing. If this message encouraged you at all, share it with your friends. Give it a like. Distribute it, my people. We're all about growth and our love for God and love for neighbor. And like I said, we're going to be talking about all those protests next video. And Lord knows God pushed me to love my neighbor in the midst of this. If you want to check out the Teespring account, it is in the description box below. We'll talk next time. Love you.